Okay, Taurus, here's your love, sex, and romance reading for the end of November into December. Gonna get it moving here, just quickly get into things. Okay. First card, Temperance. Keeping peace is what they said. We are trying to temper ourselves quite highly here, which is okay for the Taurus, right? Because usually they're bullying, they're the bullies they can be if they're in the wrong frequency, right? We can bully things around. So the sense here is we're finding inner grace if we put it more in a nicer tone, right? Inner grace. We're finding our inner grace here. So this ain't bad. Okay, next card. King of Swords. Now, we may be dealing with the air energy here. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or we may be in this energy of thought forms, is what they said. Keeping thought forms, this inner peace is bringing us up into our mind quite a bit. That's the sense that I'm getting. Keeping control of things is what they're saying, and we're doing a fine job at that. Okay, a lot of people doing fine jobs in the love side. Six of Cups. That's about the past coming to bear. Now, this could also be about childhood memories, nostalgic feelings, thoughts, this kind of thing. Yeah, I think we're thinking of our past quite a bit here. Keeping our outwardly, no one knows where we're going. Is the sense we have it quite highly in our head here that there's things from our past that we need to deal with, and there may be things coming up from our past that are making us giving us a hard time keeping our temper. Keeping tempered is what they said. Okay. Next row. Excuse me. On top of the Temperance, what do we have here in the romance sector? Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, laying things down gently. Now, we may have some, I feel like, yeah, we're going to be splitting all ways here. This man is laying a rose down for this woman. She's sleeping. He does not want to disturb her, and then he's going to walk out the door. Does he see her again? We don't know. The sense they're giving me is if we're single and dating, we may be coming across an energy here where we may want to leave quietly, is what they said, right? This is our grace. There's something going on in our mind here about the person in question. Yeah, we don't like it, is what they said. There's something here we don't like. We're not willing to work on it. We just want to leave quietly. Ten of Swords is about an ending, but it's in this deck, it's quietly walking out the door without being noticed. Okay. The King of Swords, again, a lot of thoughts going on here. Is there a truth that was laid on our side that didn't go over well, therefore we're walking away before anybody else has a chance to? Kind of the energy I'm getting. On top of that, for the romance area, we get the Six of Cups. Six of Cups can carry an energy of, going out. This is kind of getting drunk with the buddies, right? This is going out and getting inebriated and, with the groups and whatnot. Is this something that is going on with a partner that we don't quite like? Or do we need a drink? That's kind of thing. I think we need a drink to deal with what, don't take that literally, but I feel like it's like, oh man, I've got so much going on with this partner, and again, I'm picking up a singles type energy vibe here. It's like maybe we went out drinking, we saw a side of a person or partner, possible partner, and we just kind of, we didn't like what we saw or what was exhibited, or this could have been us to another partner and maybe get ghosted, and this is maybe why. There was something that was done either on a night here where we were drinking, or where we were kind of loose with things and our boundaries were way out there. We didn't keep control of things, the sense that they're giving me when we're drinking, or somebody didn't, right? Six of Cups, again, memories of the past, nostalgia. We may have a person from our past coming back in. What do we get there? The Five of Cups. Five of Cups and the Six of Cups. I'm going to leave that separated. Whoops, wrong way. Because if you look here, there's two people exchanging flowers, like, I appreciate you, you appreciate me, da da da. I feel like at some point here we had that appreciation for someone. Okay, that's the sense I get. Now, here's the squabbling. We may have gotten drunk and had a fight, you know, simple as that. We may have kind of made no sense when we're inebriated, and suddenly we had an argument, and it maybe cut so deep that we just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to work it out. We don't want to. This is the sense here. Okay, I'm going to carry on. Casanova, what does he have to say about this situation? Leaving, right? Tempering ourselves and leaving. The sense I get is that we could have made things a lot worse in our natural state, but we really did keep our, you know, our cool here when we needed to. But as we sit and think about things, we're realizing this is not something I want to, you know, engage in again, or, you know, I don't want to be coming across this again. And I do get a short-term situation here. I get a, like, somebody who's dating, or just dating someone that they may have, like, a, what do you call that? They've gone back to somebody and then they're like, oh, I didn't see this. Something that wasn't displayed before, but now it's displayed like full on. And it could be, you know, abuse of alcohol. It could be something we did while under the influence of alcohol, this kind of thing. Yeah, there's the sneaking away, you know, unnoticed. Now, ooh, okay. On top of that, to clarify Casanova, okay, I got it. My goggles here, just give me. There's words here like impotence and uselessness. Okay. Yeah, we may have had someone that just could not perform in the bedroom for us. This might have been an issue. It's not a reason to drop things and run here, but we may be seeing things differently. May have had someone, you know, get inebriated and do the whole singles thing, right? And then suddenly there was no performance, and now we're, you know, exit stage left type thing. So there's something here about performance issues somebody has, okay? And then, like, I mean, that's a pretty... Because they're giving me a scenario here where it's like, well, we got to forgive the guy. He just had too much to drink. But nonetheless, I don't know. It might, again, there might have been displays other than actual performance issues that were a problem here, okay? We're going to get into that. Casanova says, on top of the drinking, what do we get there? The Knight of Swords, he waits for battle. So this is arguing. Prepared to defensiveness, yes. Our guard up so high that we can't get in, yes. King of Swords knows what he wants. This is the Knight of Swords. Give me a moment. Yeah, we may have been in, or somebody may have been in King energy. So, but when we're drinking, we get back into the Knight of Swords here. And the sense with the Knight of Swords, when he's in a negative zone, this is where we spit out truths about people that hurt and that can cut quite deeply. This is what this guy does. Now, the sense here is waiting for battle, but they're jumping me into a pool of toxic verbiage. Toxic fumes from people back and forth, the conversation. We may not have had this if we didn't have the drink, is the sense, but we had the drink in the mix, so we might have been a younger couple, and this kind of happens. Part of the social scene, right? Night. Somebody here was defensive. Somebody here had an argument. There's no two ways. And it may have been someone that we had a history with. Okay, as we move on to the squabble itself, what does Casanova say? For spying. Okay. Okay, somebody was found out is what they said. So somebody was spying on another partner, Taurus. Was that you? Now, if it was, we found out something that the partner did not reveal to us, is the sense that I get. And this may, yeah. Okay. If we're part of a long-term situation here, we may have had an instinct or an inkling at some point here to heads up, look alive, you should be watching in this direction for such and such. I feel that the Taurus went down this road and was watching for things, and they found something here that they weren't expecting, is what they said. And not only that, we're waiting for our partner to bring it to us in some way, shape, or form, and of course that was not breached. So the sense here is that we were waiting for that partner to bring it up. We saw something, we waited for them to bring it up in a defensive way. We did not get this. And in fact, it might have been the Taurus that is in the impotence, where suddenly we can't perform in the bedroom. Why? Because we've seen what we've seen, we heard what we heard. We can't be as mushy-gushy as we used to be because of all this information that we found. It's running through our heads. It's something that has to do with our past. Now, either we had a situation or scenario like this in the past, or if we're singles, we might have been dealing with someone that we dealt with in the past. So we might be re-engaging with someone who we had a relationship with in the past. But I feel like it's a long time since we've seen them or dealt with them. I feel like this is what's going on. Okay, we're getting into the infinity spiritual cards now. Where did we start here? We started with the temperance. So yeah, the impotence can be on our end. It's a matter of not necessarily being impotent, but just not being into, being intimate with that partner. It's just not there because of what we saw or what we were exposed to, frankly. The next card is air, curiosity, and perception. Killed the cat, right? Because we're wanting to leave a situation here quite highly. We are keeping our cool on the outside. We're not blowing our fuse too much. I feel like something blew already. I feel like, we had a drink or whatever, we saw whatever or heard or whatever happened there. I feel like we just kind of looked, assessed the situation, went inside instead of blowing a big chaos machine off. We went inside and goes, does this all add up? Does this make sense? And then suddenly it made sense. Like we're overviewing this and going, okay, I'm not crazy. Did this really happen? Or are these signs pointing in that direction? This kind of thing. So our curiosity took us in another direction in order to figure all of this out. Now, the Knight, waiting for battle, I feel like that is your energy. I feel like that's a Taurus energy coming into a place where we're dealing with this partner in some kind of way and waiting for them to bring up these things that we've already found out. We know the answers here and we're coming to them and we're not getting it. We get Sri Yantra. Divine support and happiness. Now this is interesting because the sense here is no matter what way we go, we can be supported. We know what we want here. We may have had some kind of a situation here with having to do with alcohol, liquid courage, this kind of stuff, where we found out something. Okay, now when we get the divine support and happiness, I feel like, okay, if this is a whole thing where we had a drunken stupor and things were said, I feel like either we're going to make amends here and everything will be that much more better on the other end because of this blowout in a way. So if we're in a long-term relationship, we could have had a blowout over something goofy and it actually lifted the relationship in some way, opened a door and whatever. There was something here the Taurus did not like hearing or seeing or getting. But having worked through it with the partner, we're better on the other end, is the sense. So either we're maybe we seen something and maybe our issues came out of jealousy or whatnot. I'm just going simple here. May not be the exact line, but something came out here. We blew a fuse internally. We went around, looked, okay, we're waiting for the partner to come forth. They did not come forth, but somewhere here, there's a happiness coming. Okay, we're going to pull this one on this side of the spying. Okay, now let's go into that energy and see what we get. Octahedron, 8's integration and air. Look at all the air here. There's a lot of air energy, so a lot of thinking, a lot of truth being told. And again, we cannot go wrong with the truth. Is it going to split things up? I think for some it could. I think this divine support, the people that are in dating and whatnot energy, the sense I'm getting is we may have found out that this person was not what we wanted or expected or whatever. We found a truth out about them, doesn't wash. So we may have felt burdened with that partner, so now we're happy because we can release them with a clear conscience. It's not that we were just being suspicious. It's not that we were being over whatever. We found out that this matched up and away we went, and this is making us happy. Now, for those that are in long-term situations, I feel like we had a blowout somehow, some way, but it wasn't like an argument. It was like something slipped. The Taurus, instead of blowing their top right then and there, they went home, they analyzed, maybe they came out with the solution to the problem. Maybe they got their instinct in line and they kept their cool, and then they, even though they were waiting for battle, they may not have had to come across it. Maybe the happiness is that partner coming in and telling them what they saw and what they perceived and the reason for it, and it all made sense down the line here. They do show an argument, no less. Something here like a squabble. This is an external argument here, very much so. What did you do? And then this is spying like somebody, and I do feel the Taurus was looking in on the partner. But there was something that sparked that. Something that, oh, I better look. And anyway, integration is really about putting pieces together and going forward stronger than you were before. So this is good. It's like we may have had a blowout, but it solved something, an issue in the relationship. Okay, as we move into the infinity love cards, on top of the air, the curiosity, the perception, right? We perceived something that may have been a wrong perception. We discussed it with the partner. Suddenly all of it makes sense intuitively and whatnot, and then we could put it to rest, and then boom, we're happy because it's not what we thought it was on the bad side. It's on the good side, and this kind of thing. Okay, so on top of that, we get hooked. Yeah, we are hooked. I think for the long-term partners here, we're very hooked to this relationship, though we feel like, yeah, there's issues. The sense I'm getting is some of the Taurus issues coming to bear here. And we got to realize, we got to communicate with the partner in order to expose all of that. We can't just keep it in our own selves because, again, our perception can be off. We could be perceiving something that is not truly there. And this may have been what happened here for the long terms. For the short term, we were hooked on this partner, but it just like one thing, and that's it. It turned us right off. And suddenly we're going to be happily single like the dolphin flipping through the waves. We're going in another direction. Okay, on top of this happiness, divine support. Again, we are given instinct. Our instinct, how did we handle things different this time? We kept it inside instead of blowing shit outwards. We kept it inside. We worked through it. We went to the partner and discussed it, which is a huge thing that we don't normally do. And then we resolved it. For the singles, we resolved by taking off quietly. Now, this may be still an issue. There may be still issues underneath that the singles might have to deal with, but the partnered are starting to loosen up here and communicate more and open things up with the partner. Okay, on top of the happiness, we get elation. Well, what do you know? I think for the partnered couples, yeah, there's a big doorway here that opened. A relief is what they said. Like, oh, thank God it's not what I thought it was. That monkey mind going off and taking you on all these trips that just are not where things are going. This is what they're showing me here. The elation is really, really happy. I mean, we're just really happy with the way things turned out. Even though there was some diciness, we kept it inside and we didn't blow shit outwards. It didn't hit fans. We were good. So this is how we dealt with things differently, and what do you know, we're happier for it. So on the integration, again, we're integrating all that we learned here in going forward. And not only that, I feel like one of our issues kind of been ticked off. Meaning, in a good way, one of our issues is now dealt with, and maybe we don't have as much jealousy. Maybe we don't have as much suspicion. Maybe we don't have. This is what I'm getting. Okay. On top of that, we get looping. Oh, man. This was a looping behavior is what they said. Now, it will get less and less as time goes on. We may be looping in this behavior, again, jealousies or this kind of thing, but it is going to be relieved more and more as time goes on, long term. Short term, this is a looping cycle. We may be suspicious. It may be that, for the short term couplings, we may have had a situation where we were very much in a way with someone, and they may not have been spending 100% time with us, and we may have been insecure about ourselves to a degree that we got turned off and decided we could not deal with that. But for those ones that left, right, these singles that are going off, they will be jumping right back into a situation in order to deal with that more clearly. For the ones that are in solid relationships and are looping in a cycle here, they're learning a lesson that's going to bump them up a little bit, so that they don't have to keep. They're not going to keep doing the same things the same way all the time. But for the singles, they're going to jump right back into. Because it's like the universe, you didn't learn your lesson. You got to deal with the partner. Because the singles, they went and took off. They didn't deal with. They didn't communicate. They didn't tell the partner. So they're just going to jump into another one. Okay. Sorry, but that's the news. Okay, your animal card for the month here. Number 29, talking about the red-crowned crane. Speaking of loyalty. Yeah, so that was really kind of what I got here, is a sense of questioning loyalties. But the sense they're giving me is that, well, this partner, it was okay. Like, we would have been okay if we would have come forward with the partner. We could have, one, either adopted. That person would have the opportunity to adapt behavior, maybe unaware, right? Two, they may have an explanation that could soothe us, that could fit, that puzzle piece could fit, and explain things from a different perspective than we're sitting on. And, even though it prove us wrong, it may be what the truth is, right? This kind of thing. So we're talking to loyalties here, and this is what was in question. This is what, triggered the Taurus. But again, for the long-term commitment people, I feel like we've one-upped a lesson here. And for the singles, we're just going to start looping here until we got to get this lesson down, and we're going to keep getting it until we choose to discuss with the partner how we're feeling. We got to communicate. There's got to be back and forth. There's got to be equal give and take. Can't just dive into a relationship and then dive out and not inform them of anything. This is what they're promoting people in relationships to do, is to communicate. And at least, because that person, okay, if they're a dud, I'm going to go off the rails here. If they're a dud, they got to know they're a dud. They're walking around, they don't know they're a dud. You face them and you go, you know what, you're a dud. Oh, I'm a dud. Oh, I don't want to be a dud. I could change, and then maybe they could change for you, or maybe they don't, it's not in their nature to change for you, but at least you inform them you're a dud. Now he's walking around, he knows he's a dud. He could change it or not, that's up to him, but you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to explain. Oh, so loyalties were in question here on either side. So hopefully the information I give you helps you, at least in the future. I feel some of these Taurus, they're just kind of keeping trucking. But the thing is that we're not informing the partner of what they could improve on, and them to us either, maybe, so that we really don't grow here. So keep that in mind. Anyway, announcements. Yeah, these readings are interesting. So let me know if you like this whole setup here. It saves me a lot of time on readings. I wanted to just shoot them out live and then they were done, but having problems getting that going. So I'm gonna pre-record them and then ship them out. Whatever. If you like this, I know I love my theme song, but it takes me like 3 to 5 hours to get in gear to edit. So I'm gonna try this week, and then if I can get into a good routine. My problem is the routine. I can't get into it. So, if you like this and enjoy it, it's a lot quicker for me to do. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up or at least comment. Like, subscribe, do all that. Help me out a little bit. My ratings are low, so I want to get them up a bit. Share the readings with anybody you think might benefit from it, or whoever, somebody just into horoscopes and stuff. So take care, guys. Have fun and be kind. We will talk to you soon.